It was Wallis Simpson, Duchess of Windsor, who ordained you can never be too rich or too thin. She was talking about women, but it increasingly seems she might have been referring to skyscrapers. A battle of multimillionaire ownmanship created Manhattan's skyline, and its new addition once again takes the breath away. More than a quarter of a mile high, but no more than 60 feet wide, the Steinway Tower, which has opened for residents, isn't just exceptionally tall, it is almost painfully thin. And to live there you have to have the sums that even the Duchess probably never imagined. It's not only one of the tallest buildings in the Western world, with a height-to-width ratio of hours-minutes 24:1, it is the world's skinniest skyscraper. These are not the proportions of a classical column, but of a coffee stirrer, a critic's night. View from the gods. To the casual eye, the 1,428-foot, 84-floor condominium may look like a trap, liable with the first high wind to come crashing into Central Park, or at least wobble so violently that if you weren't already suffering from altitude sickness, you would almost certainly soon be feeling seasick. But these pencil towers are the new ultra-prestige dwelling for the world's richest people. Camera icon, but these pencil towers are the new ultra-prestige dwelling for the world's richest people. Hayes Davidson. The Steinway is particularly desirable, also its owners hope, in being so narrow that each apartment covers at least one floor, and so affords all-round panoramic views. In fact, there are 84 floors, but only 46 apartments. And those views, impressive near the bottom, heart-stopping at the top, could hardly be bettered from the sort of building that needs to be cleared with the Federal Aviation Administration. The Steinway, which reportedly cost £1.5 billion to build, sits almost midway along the southern border of Central Park on a stretch so full of high-rise residential blocks with skyscraping price tags that it's been dubbed Billionaire's Row. Look north and you have the famous park, south and you can see the length of high-rise Manhattan. Camera icon how Steinway Tower compares. Supplied. Manhattan slim pickings. New York skyscrapers, including the Empire State Building and One World Trade Center, usually catch the eye because of their design. But, nowadays, the defining characteristic of the new pretenders is slimness. The trend for super-thin skyscrapers started in 1970s Hong Kong, an island short of space, and took hold in New York after the millennium. Slenderness is an engineering term, and is generally applied to skyscrapers, with a minimum width-to-height ratio of 1:10. However, a building's slenderness ratio is often difficult to calculate because the bases and towers are often different widths as the buildings rise. In New York, their design is partly a response to planning laws. These restrict the amount of land that can be built on in an area and also the height, or air rights, of any building. But a loophole in the rules means developers can buy a parcel of land, then buy unused air rights from adjacent plots, including from buildings shorter than their allowed maximum, and stack these to build a tall but thin tower. Technological advances have contributed to the rise of the skinnies, as has the fact that, in a crowded market, for good or ill they tend to get noticed. Naughty neighbors. Who buys these apartments? Well, often very rich people, who live abroad and are looking for investment opportunities. The tragedy of many recently built New York skyscrapers in a city where millions struggle to find affordable housing is that so many apartments aren't occupied, their owners, many in China, buying them as speculative investments. In Billionaire's Row, oligarchs have been especially well represented. Camera icon Steinway Tower. 111W57. Camera icon Steinway Tower. 111W57. But rich Russians are nowadays as welcome in New York as vodka at a temperance society meeting. Which is a pity given that, if anyone welcomed the Steinway Tower's 360-degree views, it would be the sort of dodgy businessman who wants as much warning as possible of anyone coming to arrest him. Hollywood star Jennifer Lopez bought a home at another similarly obtrusive pencil tower at 432 Park Avenue, but the identity of other buyers continues to be hidden in shell companies registered in tax havens. In 5 years, New developments on 57th Street have registered 41 residential transactions, over $25 million, at an average sales price of $38.5 million. High life horrors. Studies have suggested there's a glut in the market for these homes, with many remaining unsold for long periods of time. For the view from the top of a pencil tower isn't entirely cloud-free. They don't have the greatest customer satisfaction record. It's long been accepted that super tall, super skinny skyscrapers will move significantly in a brisk wind. Camera icon: the world's skinniest skyscraper, the Steinway Tower, is ready for its first residence in New York City. Guerin Charles, Abakar, a PA. Experts say problems arise when, for reasons of cost, time, or incompetence, architects and builders don't factor this movement into their calculations on everything from walls to plumbing. If hit by high winds, tall skyscrapers can bend by as much as 3 feet. The developers of 432 Park Avenue, which is 1,396 feet tall, have been accused of failing in this regard by residents, who are suing for $168 million, citing 1,500 construction and design defects, many of them allegedly potentially lethal. Visitors to the penthouse reported feeling super nauseated because of the swaying, and the building has suffered flooding, reportedly due to faulty plumbing, while the wails from its multimillionaire occupants make clear they weren't ready for a home that creaks like the galley of a ship. Experts are concerned other pencil towers will face the same nightmares. The fact is, life at the top isn't all it's cracked up to be. Nuisance to normal New Yorkers. At the Steinway, the cheapest studio flat costs £6 million, and the prices soar up to more than £50.7 million for the penthouse. The latter, stretching over 3 floors connected by an oval staircase, provides 7,130 square feet of interior space. It includes 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, 14 feet high ceilings, a private lift, and a handmade nickel bathtub created by British designer William Holland. Camera icon: the world's skinniest skyscraper, the Steinway Tower. Guerin Charles, Abakar, a PA. The penthouse was bought by an international buyer, who snapped it up after only taking a virtual tour. At the bottom of the tower, the first 5 floors are taken up by expensive shops and recreation spaces, including an 82-feet swimming pool, private dining room, and double-height fitness center. Amenities include a 24-hour concierge and doorman. The Steinway Building's mainly glass facade includes blocks of bronze terracotta, so the tower will change color at different times and from different angles. Camera icon: the world's skinniest skyscraper, the Steinway Tower, is ready for its first residence in New York City, New York. Guerin Charles, Abakar, a PA. The tower, which tapers strikingly up to its tip, was designed by New York architecture firm Shop Architects to evoke the Art Deco age, during which so many of the city's greatest skyscrapers went up, and took from 2013 to 2021 to build. Its designers hail it as a project of extraordinary proportions and epic grandeur. Other New Yorkers are more likely to hail it as yet another hideous monument to the vanity, arrogance, and general excess of the world's super-rich. The Steinway and Billionaire's Row cast a lengthening shadow over the southern end of Central Park, which for many Manhattanites is their only recreational outdoor space. Not content to look down on everyone, the Pencil Tower Brigade wants everyone to notice that they are looking down on them. Or so it might seem to poorer New Yorkers squinting up from down below. Daily Mail.